What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing a quick review on one of the better concealed carry pistols that I've reviewed, the STI Staccato C. Before we do that, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys really help the channel keep going. I buy ammunition and guns from all your support. I really appreciate that, and because of that, we do a giveaway every month. This month, I want to remind everybody the giveaway is going to be this K-bar knife. We're also going to do an Ontario knife as well. People seem to like the knives, so if you have a knife recommendation that you think is going to be popular, put it down in the comment section. And if you have anything else you want me to give away for the giveaway, let me know. Also, we're planning on doing a Taurus G2C this summer, and I'll give you some heads up before that happens. So thank you guys very much, and that's why we're doing the giveaway. Also want to mention ammo.com. I leave a link in the description below for $20 off an order of any 200 bucks or more. Now, getting back to the review, this is the STI Staccato C. It really fits a niche that I happen to really enjoy, which is the 9mm 1911-2011 platform. If you watch KS Gun Guy's channel, this is the exact same gun that he reviewed. This is actually his pistol, and he wanted to get my take on it, and I wanted to shoot it. So he's a buddy of mine, and he sent it up here for me to review. I'll be sending down a couple of my pistols here in the future for him to review as well. That way maybe you'll get a double take on a couple of guns that we've reviewed and kind of get maybe a different opinion or two on different firearms, because different people have different opinions on different guns. So what makes this gun interesting? Well, it is a single stack 9mm. It says 2011 all over it, but I'm going to call it a 1911 because single stack to me means 1911, not 2011, but that's okay. It has a steel slide here. It has a bull barrel, which is very interesting. It has the 2011 guide rod assembly, so that makes takedown kind of rough, one of the downsides of this pistol right off the bat. It is an accessory rail, which is uncommon for 9mm 1911 platforms of this size. So I really like that. It's difficult to find a 9mm 1911 with a rail on it, and this rail actually had a problem fitting a few of my weapon lights. I actually put my O-Light, whichever O-Light is like the Surefire X300. I just call it the O-Light X300. But it has a QD mount, and it fit on here just fine, because I actually did some night shooting with this that I can roll in right now, because I figured since it's a carry gun, you might as well try it at night, right? And I have access to a range at night because it's at my house, and so I decided to shoot, and it performed very well. I know the first time I shot this at night, I literally opened up at 75 yards and hit every shot. Some of the features this gun comes with makes it pretty unique. For example, it does have the steel slide, it does have an aluminum chassis to it, and it does have a polymer frame. So if you've ever owned an STI Edge or an STI Apero or seen any STI 2011s, that's the same concept they have on those guns as well. That makes the gun a little bit lighter, and it feels a little bit different, and also makes it a lot more modular, so you can buy these grip modules from a lot of different stores. I'm not sure about this particular gun, but all the other STI guns have these available, whether it be from them or aftermarket, so I'm sure if they're not available yet, they will be in the future. This gun's actually similar in size to a Glock 19. I don't have one right in front of me here, but just take my word for it. They're very similar in size in barrel length, so it's a 4-inch barrel, and in grip size as well. Downside to that, though, is that the Glock 19 holds twice as many rounds. This gun only holds 8 rounds, which is the downside of all 1911 type firearms. In my opinion, one of the only downsides to 1911 type firearms. And just like the Glock 19 I think is 24 ounces, this is 25. Now, as far as reliability goes, I didn't get to do a full 1,000 round test on this guy because it's not my gun and I didn't want to shoot too many rounds through it, and KS already did. So I shot about 500 rounds through this. A lot of that was some of it wasn't filmed and a lot of it was POV because my wife happens to be on vacation this week. Well, a paid vacation. She got paid to film a wedding down in Georgia, so that's where she's at right now, and I'm stuck at home watching the ranch. So that sucks for me, but it's good for you because you get this review. All 500 rounds went through flawlessly. I just shot standard 115 grain 9mm. It was just American Eagle. It all functioned awesome. Now, as far as accuracy goes, this is where I'm going to give this gun top marks. I don't think I've ever fired a compact pistol of this size that was more accurate than this gun. And that includes, I had a Wilson Combat of the same size of this, and this and the Wilson Combat were probably neck and neck, although this is more reliable than the Wilson Combat. High quality 1911 frames like this have an extra edge on a lot of compact carry guns like a Glock 19 or even a CZP-07 because they come with phenomenal triggers. Now this trigger I think is 3 pounds, somewhere in there. It feels even lighter than that because the gun's really broken in because it's been reviewed by 2 people now. But the trigger is excellent. It is one of the best triggers I've ever felt on a compact gun, probably the best. Now, I think something that might hang with this gun would be like a Wilson Combat EDC X9, which is a double stack as well, but it's also double stack the price. This is only about $1,500, whereas the EDC X9s are at about $3,000. So it really matters to you on whether or not you want to pay $1,500 for the extra 7 rounds. Other than the trigger, the sights help tremendously with the accuracy of this pistol. The sights are excellent. You know, I would say that because Dawson Precision blacked out rear with a fiber optic front is my favorite sighting setup with a fairly thin front sight. And these just happen to be Dawson Precision fiber optic sights with a blacked out rear. And it has this notch on it too if you want to rack that off your nutsack. So that's good to go. But these are good to have in case you got to operate it one-handed. I just always make fun of this because tactical guys really make a huge deal on whether their sight has a notch on it or not because, you know, you're more likely to be struck by lightning than actually need this. But, you know, if you're out there wearing rubber boots, you might as well have a notch on your rear sight as well. Now, standing accuracy is one thing, and this is very, very good. I would say this probably shoots 1.5 inches, 2 inches at 25 yards. So very, very accurate for a compact pistol, but how does it shoot? Really, like if you're going to be shooting up close in a concealed carry situation, the FBI tells us it's going to be in 7 yards. So you're not going to need to hit an ant in the butthole. What you're going to need is you're going to need to pile out rounds fairly quickly into a fairly large target. And in that case, the STI also does a phenomenal job. The recoil control on this pistol is pretty awesome. I don't know if that has to do with a little bit of polymer flex in the frame, whether that has to do with the accessory rail adding a little bit of weight out to the front of the pistol, or whatever recoil system that STI put in here. Now, STI is pretty well known for making high quality competition guns, so lowering the recoil and adding accuracy to a gun is something they're pretty good at. And I would like to compare this a little bit to my Dan Wesson Guardian because they're actually very similar in size. My Guardian has a 4.25 inch barrel with a longer grip, but very similar in size, very similar in function, exact same in action, and there's the same price. As far as these two go, I would say the Dan Wesson looks better, but this gun, I would say, honestly, performs a little bit better. If the grip was a little bit longer, I'd really prefer that. I would like a little bit longer, a little bit bigger grip because I got bigger hands, and this grip feels a little bit small to me. But the recoil control of this pistol is better than any other compact or even commander size 1911 that I fired. I could shoot this very, very quickly. And again, that might be a combination of that guide rod thing they got going on in there they put in 2011s, or it could be a little bit of the polymer frame too. I'm not really sure, but whatever it is, you can fire really fast. So being really fast, being really accurate, being very reliable, that's hard to beat in a package this size. It really is. And for $1,500, it damn sure better be, because in a carry gun, I can see people buying a $1,500 competition gun, easy, no problem, that doesn't bother me. But as far as a carry gun, something that's going to get banged up all the time, I might drop it here or there, or throw it on the desk every night when I take it out, or whether it gets confiscated by the police, it's really going to have to perform really well for me to pay that much money for a gun that I'm going to use every day. Now we'll get into accessories. That is not a problem on the 1911, 2011 frame. Like I said, you might be able to get different grip modules. I would personally, for me, I'd like to invest in a new magazine release, because one of the main things I didn't like about this pistol is the magazine release. I had a real problem ejecting the magazine the way I wanted to. It just seems like it's very shallow and it's very hard to hit. You can see that it's very small in comparison to maybe not in comparison to normal guns, but when I feel a 1911 or a 2011, I like to have that. I like to have that a little bit extended magazine release. So this was too small and a little bit too hard for me to push, and sometimes the magazines didn't drop free. That doesn't really matter on a carry gun that much, because the likelihood of you doing a reload is astronomically low, but I'd still like to see that for a gun of this price. Another thing I didn't like about it is the classic STI grip cut they do here. That's good for most people, but for me, as you can see how my knuckle hangs over there, and I like to get up really high in the gun, so that's gonna cause two problems with this gun. This is the first one, and that really digs into my knuckle, and I really squeeze on a gun. That's how I get the recoil control that I get. So that's uncomfortable for me, but I could easily fix that. This is a polymer gun, and I've had polymer frame 2011s in the past that have had this cut, and I just take a Dremel and I wipe that guy away like he was never there. But I'm not going to do that because this is KS Gun Guy's gun. He wouldn't be very happy with me if I did that. I also, I got to agree with KS on this, I don't like what's going on up here. So not only does it have the grip safety, which isn't as big a deal, it didn't seem like I had a problem activating that at all. But one thing that is moderately uncomfortable when you go super high is this edge right here and the edge of the safety right here. It digs into the web of your hand. Can you get over that? Yep. Does it bother you enough not to shoot it? Nope. But I would, for a $1,500 gun, like to see them blend that all in a little bit better. There's no need for all that. There's no need for all those edges. They could blend that out, no problem. It serves no purpose other than just the fact that they didn't do it. The hammer is really nice. I really like the hammer. It's a competition hammer with a little bit of an edge here, so you can grab it. For a single action pistol, that's important. You have some sort of malfunction or something happens and you have to manually rack the hammer, you can do that super fast, and that'll fulfill your Billy the Kid fantasies. The barrel is really, really awesome. Also, I think that's another thing that adds to the recoil control, is that really heavy barrel that you see in there. So the barrel doesn't reciprocate with the gun, so the reciprocating mass is not very heavy, so it doesn't cause that secondary recoil impulse that you feel. And the barrel is really heavy, so it helps keep the gun in place like that. And reciprocating mass causes two recoil impulses, one that you feel here, and then another one that you have to compensate for when the gun dips down. So you want to avoid both of those, and you want to keep the gun super flat. And obviously STI knows that, because again, this gun shoots really fast. I like this too. The grip texture is good. I would say it's better than a lot of other pistols that I've tried. Not M&P 2.0 good, but pretty good. And if you wanted it that good, you can easily buy a soldering iron, and you can do the M&P 2.0 grip texture to this, or most likely they'll have aftermarket stuff that you can buy. The hump on the mainspring housing here feels really nice. I like that. I like when it's placed well, and I like when they round it off a hair, especially when the grip is so short that my full hand won't cover it. I wouldn't want it to have an edge here for that to be digging in my hand as well. Other than the magazine release, the slide release works really well, and it's really blended in with the gun as well, so you're not going to be riding it because you have a safety to ride, which we'll get into now. The safety is excellent. If you're going to have a manual safety on a pistol, this is the way to go. You want it to be very positive, very tactile. You want to know when it's on or off, and you want to be able to swipe it off easy. It is a little bit big for a carry gun. I think if it were my gun and I was really going to carry this all day, I wouldn't need all that. I'd probably switch this out for a lower profile one of some type, either that or take the grinder to it, one or the other. I'm that kind of guy. The one downside of this pistol is that it is in fact a 24 ounce, 25 ounce gun. that only holds 8 rounds. To me, that's a big problem. Maybe not a big problem for me, I should say, but a big problem for most people, for the sales point of the gun. For the average person that sees this gun that is not going to shoot this every day and not going to want to shoot it 100 yards, for the average person, they're not going to understand why you would pay double the price or triple the price even. You can get 3 Glocks for the price of this, and why the Glock would hold double the rounds. So for that, I think is a sticking point. But the reality for me personally is I want a gun that I can shoot the best I can shoot for the, let's say, opening 8 rounds. I don't think if I'm ever going to be in a concealed carry situation, most likely, statistically, you're almost never going to fire your gun. You're like 90%, 90-some% more likely to pull your gun out and not actually fire it. And if you do fire it, it's like another 99-some% that you only fire 1 to 3 rounds. Long-term shootings don't happen a lot. That's why Miami-Dade is so famous. It's still nice to have it if you need it. I'm not saying that. It's easy to understand that a person could justify only having 8 rounds. But for me, I don't know. It's such a good shooter that I don't know if it bothers me as much. I would eventually like to try a double stack version of this gun, and I would probably absolutely love that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you don't know who KS Gun Guy is, go over on YouTube and find his channel and subscribe to him as well, because he has some awesome content and he reviews guns like this. So if you like his channel, go over and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to mine. If you want to get in that patron giveaway, go down there, and the link to my patron account's down there. There's a link to a local homeless shelter in Ames, Iowa that I like to support. Go down there and donate to those kids as well. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.